Oakey here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
John and Kristi Oakey are with us on our podcast today.
Hello.
John, you like jokingly said that you have a black jacket.
I have a black jacket.
It's
very slimming.
Both of you guys coming in here today, though, you don't need any help to be slimming.
We're working on losing
have lost some lbs.
Losing some weight.
You can tell.
Yeah. Can you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you can tell my face.
Yeah.
I have a fat face usually.
Yeah.
So
Well, I wasn't going to say anything.
Thanks. But yeah, we're doing okay. We're good so far.
And what are you using? What
We
are you guys
have
doing?
a program that we do, and so if you want to find out more information, go to the John and Kristi Oakey Facebook page. No, just go on there. We'll send you some information. See, I don't really have like a link, so if you just go to our John and Kristi Oakey Facebook page, say, "Hey, I want to be less puffy," and then we'll send you
some of the stuff you guys are making. The avocado, was it avocado with eggs or whatever? You posted a picture of it the other day. Was it the breakfast?
Oh, you made you had the breakfast with vegetables.
Yes, I did.
And the yards, it looked like.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do avocado.
Was there like peppers and onions?
Yes.
That looked awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It did. It looked really good.
I appreciate it. What do you want me to eat the mic? Or
Yeah.
what?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. John is like,
And
you guys had a camera.
Professionals over here, please explain to her that we. So we
I laid
anyway,
down.
explain to her. You got to get into it.
You guys are like 8 episodes into the Oak Zone podcast, soon to launch.
Yes.
But
Yes.
And you don't have the microphone technique down yet,
I
Kristi?
tell her all the time.
I think I'm doing better.
But she doesn't listen to me because what do I know?
That's like it's like Pat and his kids, right?
Right.
Yeah.
When he tells them
Same-
stuff, they don't
same
listen.
concept.
Somebody else tells them
I
something,
have
and
always
they
been
listen.
like that, though. Yeah.
So you just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What,
You're fine.
do you want me to sit a
You're
certain
okay. No, you're
way?
okay. No, I don't.
So don't be afraid to get close.
You're going to hear about it on the way home.
So you can
Oh
pull
man,
it
I'm in so
towards
much
you.
trouble.
So much trouble. You're in so much trouble.
Just
Why
trying
they
to
drove in
help.
different cars.
We did.
I got mad at him today and sent you a seething text.
Oh, seething.
Seething, huh?
So she brought some special treats, okay? And bones for the dogs. Because as you'll find out during our podcast, sometimes our dogs are active. They like to play with each other. So she tried to
hear a
give
little bit.
some bones to, entertain themselves, right?
Right.
So she's, don't use these. These are for when we do a podcast. These are the podcast bones.
I
know
guess.
exactly what those are. I got
I
it.
told
Right?
him, and he just, I don't think
No,
he
because
listens to me.
I
You don't listen to me.
I do listen. Sometimes I ignore. So I had to.
I'll do that to you.
Big difference. So I had to go shovel yesterday. We had all the way that snow, and it was a heavy, wet snow.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to be out there for a while. So I said, let me go. She's got in her podcast dog bone bag, and
Oh,
so
whatever.
I find
Getting it embroidered
so
later.
I find these things. I give them to the dogs, and then when I picked up dog food yesterday, I bought 2 other kind of bones to replace the ones that I used.
Yeah.
But they were the wrong kind, right?
Oh yeah, obviously. They were. Actually, they were. They were the wrong ones, I guess.
Why
the
not
seething
give them the
text.
other bone?
I don't know. I just saw those first 2 ones. And I said, I haven't seen these kind before.
You have
I
a
love
ghost
these.
in your office. Did you see that light just turn off?
Yeah,
they
it's-
do that automatically.
If we don't move around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If
And
I'm real
even
still.
seriously, I was just gonna say that when you're real still in your desk, it sometimes shuts off and you got to wave. Like it's really creepy.
It's like,
That's
hello,
kinda weird.
I'm in
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Strange.
Anyway, I get it because I have those kind of treats for Jack that I save him for particular
These were
times.
like the antler kind that are real
I
expensive.
love those too. Those are great because especially if you get the split antlers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
and the elk and the deer, and they have those, and they're like $20.
They're
and
expensive.
You can get them. There are
wow.
more.
One's gone now, honey.
I gave them to
and
him yesterday. That's why.
They'll spend a long time. Another really good one is the braided pizzle sticks.
Ah, okay.
If you get them, they're like 3 pizzle sticks. They're like 1.5 feet
Oh, yeah,
long.
yeah.
Do you
and
go
they
to
braid
Wolf and
3
Whiskers? Or where do you go?
Wolf and Whiskers. I actually know one girl that works there. She used to work at the doggy daycare I used to go to, or I do go to, but she left and she's at Wolf and Whiskers now, and I got to go see her one of these
I
days.
last them.
Yes,
We should
great
have them
place.
on our podcast, honey.
That's a good idea.
The
I think it's a
owners.
great idea.
They're super nice.
Yeah, sure, Kristi. I don't think they're busy at all. I mean, every time I see them, they look
He's a
like, oh my
firefighter.
gosh, I'm so busy.
So he's there sometimes.
But I usually get mine like from Chewy, or there's a couple of brands. I can't
Oh,
remember
I
the
should
name
go
of
on
the brand
Chewy.
that I get.
And
'cause
they're bull wieners.
yes,
Foot and a half
They're
long.
bull wieners?
Mm-hmm.
The real bull wieners?
this is the pizzle sticks are. And then they're braided, like they braid 3 or 4 of them together. We're gonna go buy bull wieners.
Oh my gosh. And there's the name of your podcast.
John, we're gonna go buy bull wieners.
Thanks, Kristi.
Yeah, it's something like Jack gets a hold of that, and it's just like he gets done, and he's
Oh yeah, I bet.
he's just
I bet.
exhausted. He's like, and it'll keep him busy for almost an hour, if not better.
There you go.
It's
There you
awesome.
go.
Yeah,
Put
it's
that on the
really-
list.
Just gonna throw that out there for
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Speaking of cars, when you were on your way here, you were talking about a vehicle. I have a video, and I won't post it until you have your permission or Kristi's permission. But I look out my window. I saw you pull up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's he sitting out? He's not. What's he doing? I
I
look
thought you
outside.
were on the phone.
And no, he was under the hood of his car and looking around. And
Because
like, does he know what's going on? And
I have no idea
You looked
what's
like you were
going on.
smelling something.
Yeah, well, it was something was burning in my car. I was like, what is? And this has been going on for a little bit. I'm like, what
Speaking
is?
of men smell
I'm like,
everything.
I'm like, what's smoking in my car? And so I just see if I can look around. I have no idea. I know nothing about cars. And so I know how to change the oil at one time when I was younger. And
You can't even do that
I can change the
anymore.
flat. I can't do it
That's
anymore.
right.
And flat tire. But I was looking there, maybe I could just see something that looked like maybe it was on fire or burning,
Yeah.
but I have no idea. So we'll just keep driving until something happens.
I mean, it stopped the first time it did it, right?
right?
Did
Yeah.
are any lights going off on the dash?
No,
Okay.
no. So
It
can't
didn't-
be that
You know,
serious.
sometimes animals crawl up.
They do.
No, it's fine. And I
Cold
seriously
weather.
was looking for like if something was in there, some
You'll have,
leaves
like,
or something else that had fallen in there. But I
Well, that
Roasted
was
cat
when-
or
well,
squirrel or
growing
something
up in the
there.
country, we always, when you get in a car, you always honk the horn. When you get in the car, honk the horn first, because cats would always get
I
up
have
underneath
heard of
the
that.
hood.
yeah.
We had a cat ride all the way from our house, 252nd and Pacific to Oakview area. All the way, yeah, because we pulled, and he was fine, totally fine. We stopped, and I was a kid, and we stopped, and all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, there's Rambo."
Did you run him? Did you get him?
Yeah, we got him.
Oh, my
my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
yeah,
Country
He did-
cat, city cat.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Better get him or she. I think it was a girl. Rambo's going to
Rambo?
end up pregnant.
Oh, my
Better
God.
get him out of the city. Or
Oh,
out of the
right.
city, whatever.
Right. Hanging out in the red light district.
Yeah, right.
Get
Gonna
that
go
kitty
crazy.
cat. Don't let her meet the street cats.
oh my goodness.
Gonna get in trouble.
I had an interesting thing happen yesterday. Odd. My wife texted me on the way home from work, and with all the crappy weather, she's like, "Can you run out and grab the mail?" Sure, no problem. So I'm on my way out, and I'm walking down. We have something maybe a block to our little shared mailbox thingy, and I see this car sitting in our cul-de-sac. And it's I just knew that it was there. I didn't really pay any attention. But then I heard this kid say, "Hey, sir, can you help us?" I'm like, first of all, my Oprah whisper is like, "You're gonna get murdered. You're gonna get killed."
So
if
don't
they
get-
offer me
don't
candy,
let them
I'm
get you
running.
too.
If it's a puppy, I'm out of here.
That's right. I know how
You
this is gonna
can't
play out. So I looked over, and this kid was holding like a bucket. And there were a couple kids in the back seat, and he obviously got out of the passenger seat holding the bucket. And I said, what's going on? What's the matter? I'm not tough. Like, I'm not going to fight anybody for him, but I'm like, what's going on? And the kid goes, well, we found this squirrel that was by my apartment, and he was wet, and he's cold, and he's shaking, and I think something's wrong with him, and we don't know what to do. And I thought, you're going to get
Rabies.
murdered. Right. This is going to lure me over, these kids. And then he said, we took him in the apartment, but he has bugs all over him, and he says, I don't know what to do. So I think he was coming down our area to take him to the park. So I just he saw me, and I went over and got him. And sure enough, this little squirrel, adult squirrel, was wet and shaking and cold. And I'm like, well, listen, dude, I don't know. I'll call animal control. I don't. So we took him, put him in our garage. I put a heater on him and helped him. Animal control was out like that. I called them right. Like they were maybe 10
They're really
minutes.
good when, especially
Do
when
they
it's wild
charge you
animals.
for that?
Yeah, and if they can't do it, they'll call one
So I
of the
wonder what
rescues.
was wrong with
They were
it.
going to take him to it's called like wildlife rescue or wildlife rehab or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. He was just wet and cold. I don't know, but he was chill, and it was
Might have
kind of
been
cute
sick.
because these kids. I knew that they weren't going to kill me because as soon as I looked in there, the guy's like, we tried to give him some bread, but he wouldn't eat it. Like there were just pieces of chunks of bread in there. It was
They
super
were
nice.
trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
They were, but it is squirrels are tough because they're so cute, and you see cases where squirrels have been kind of made into pets, right?
Yeah.
Tamed, but they're generally covered in fleas, covered in bugs, and because that's just that's squirrels. That's what they are. I mean, they're dirty. They're rodents,
And now
They are.
your home's
Yeah.
infested with all these
Right.
right?
I know.
bugs.
Had a
Squirrel
rodent in
I
your
kept him
garage.
just in the garage. So.
Okay, we put a heater.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
And I actually put the heater a little bit too close. And
I was
Beth-
gonna
I
say.
sent Beth I have a
he's
picture. I have a
highlighted now.
picture of it because it was a mop bucket that had the
His
little
hair's
hole at the top.
highlighted.
Yeah.
And I put the heater on it, and I sent Beth a picture of like her hope she's going to say, "Oh, you're my hero," and she goes, "Heater's too close. He's going to cook."
Right?
So I had to back it off. Just
You
a
ever
little
eaten
bit.
squirrel before? You're about to. Oh my God. Speaking of critter stories, by the way, too, some people wrote in because apparently I was correct
You were correct.
about a story that we were talking about yesterday, and somebody in this room laughed out loud at me.
Let's don't point fingers at.
And the reason why I laughed at you is because I assumed you thought a wolf climbed a tree.
No.
That's why.
Because I was listening to the podcast and I'm like yelling through the my headphones like, there are 2 stories. There's 2 stories. There's a wolf and then there's the other story.
There's a cat and a dog story. And one person wrote in on Facebook and just wanted to let me know and sent me the link to the story that there was a coyote in New Hampshire that approached some people and ended up going after this guy and his wife, and they had 3 young kids with them. They were hiking and actually got a hold of the kid's jacket.
Wow.
And the guy ended up killing the coyote
With his bare
hands.
That's dude.
That guy's a man. That's a man right there.
Could you do that, John?
Yeah.
Really?
Just get one right now.
That would kind of
Go get me a coyote.
And the authorities were happy that he did do that because then they were able to, now they had the coyote because they can test him for rabies.
Oh, yeah.
Which generally I would assume he does have because of the coyote.
Impressive, yeah.
If he
That's
came out.
scary.
But there
That's
was
very
a story.
scary.
Yeah, you laughed at me. A coyote.
They're not going to climb a
laughs.
tree.
I'm like, wolves don't climb trees.
Had nothing to do with the tree, dork. It had to do with the child being a dad. And I said, I wrote back, I can't remember her name, and I said, I was right. And she said, I was screaming that
That's why I was doing the same thing.
at the time. You're right, Jill, you're right.
Have you ever had a critter in your house or?
Oh my gosh, yeah. As far as like things that shouldn't be in the house,
Well,
kind of critters, or
anything exciting like
Kyle doesn't count.
Kyle. A friend of mine had a raccoon that she raised from a baby and finally freed because the raccoon would come in inside and outside and got pretty good size. But raccoons steal everything.
Yeah.
And so things would disappear. Pens were disappearing, barrettes for their hair, any coins, anything shiny would disappear. And then come to find out, much later after the raccoon went away, they were moving some furniture and there was a big pile, like the treasure chest was behind a curio cabinet or something like that. Yeah. I remember having that.
I've had mice, but nothing else. Not even a bat. You guys ever had anything?
No.
I was thinking of a few things. No, I remember when we lived in Texas, where we're from, they have pine trees everywhere. And so I remember coming down the driveway and seeing a raccoon, and the raccoon kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then would go to one tree and one tree. It was just like going in circles. It seemed something was wrong.
Yeah.
And so I went and I got my dad and I said, Dad, there's a huge raccoon. And he's making noises and he's going back and forth. And so he walked out there and he says, that raccoon has rabies. And
Scary,
he got a shotgun and he
took care of it.
They don't.
shot him down.
It's almost like they turn into zombies. Like they
it was
focus.
like
Nothing
crazy.
scares them. Nothing.
They were.
Anytime you see an animal like in the daylight, I've always told my kids that if you think any animal, doesn't matter if it comes up to you when it's a wild animal and during
Wild
the
animals.
daylight or
Right. I had a possum do that to me. Well, from Texas, you see all sorts of
devil
stuff.
cats. I hate possums.
Well, and it did. It like opened his mouth. I mean, I was sitting on the curb. I remember being mad at my parents, and I thought I'm going to go sit on the curb and just. Pout. And so I was sitting on the curb, and I heard this noise, and right behind me was this, and his mouth was open. He was hissing, and I was like, "Oh!"
Didn't somebody send us? There are 2 kinds of possum.
Yeah,
There's the opossum
and a possum.
There's ones that have like rounded toes. Like they're
cuter.
They're cute. They're cute.
No, I didn't
they don't
stick
have the
around.
pointed nose.
This
same
one
type.
had big old teeth.
And
Gross.
those, and I don't know if both type or just the one kind, but they're the one thing that possum are good at is because they eat ticks and they eat other things like that in the grass and can eat hundreds.
Yeah, they have purpose.
Wow.
They do have purpose, but they just. When you see a mama
Scary.
possum and she's got all them babies on her back, and it's just like, I saw somebody had a
Gross.
Halloween costume and it was like a fur coat and it had a whole bunch of possum babies attached all and she was
That's a
dressed
good
as a
idea.
possum.
That's
And
funny.
it's like that's gross, but that's funny. That is funny.
We had
I
a
do like
possum in our backyard a long time ago once, and I let our Shih Tzu out. And as soon as I let the dog out, I saw the possum because it was like the light was on, and got Remington back in the house. And this possum, huge, just fat.
Yes.
And I walk out, and it walks over to the fence and starts climbing up the fence. And he gets about halfway up, and he's like, and he just slides down and did that twice. And finally,
Oh my
he slid
gosh.
down again and turned him and just goes. He's like, I can't get out of here, so I'm just gonna scare you.
Would you go open the gate, please?
Yes.
That's so
Need a
funny.
little boost over here, please.
Well, they
no,
crawl
thank you.
down in those gutters. I've seen
Yeah.
lots of raccoons coming out of gutters and stuff.
Yeah.
That's so gross when you see like you see far away down the street and some. So, but being down in Texas, you guys had to deal with like big spiders, tarantula like spiders, scorpions, stuff like like that, right?
Roaches. Roaches are a huge thing. They're big roaches. You know?
The tree roaches.
Yeah, those. I mean, that's probably the bigger thing, right?
Yeah.
Spider, like brown recluse.
I remember when my parents were building our house, we walked in and there was a big spider, and I am.
Oh, I can tell there's a spider because I hear the.
It's the spider scream, and
Yeah.
so I
my
remember
my wife is the same exact way.
I opened the door and it came right at me, and all I could think of was smashing it, you know. And so I took my shoe, and I mean I was wearing the shoe and I smashed it. And
I took my shoe off.
Well, you know, some people hit it with sorry.
I'm wearing my
So I
shoe.
stepped on it.
So anyway, but thousands of babies.
That's why they say never
were
smash
on
them.
top of it.
That's why they say
that's
never
like a
smash a
nightmare right
spider.
there.
Out.
That's disgusting.
Have you seen that video?
It was hairy.
There's a video of that
Yes.
too. Somebody did that, and it's like,
I just.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
That is my worst
yes,
nightmare. That is
never
awful.
smash
Me
a
too.
spider.
Remember that show that they used to do all that
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor?
Couldn't do it.
Speaking of fear
I would,
factor,
I would
Kill
lose.
me.
I'd lose $1 million if I had to put
Kill
a
me.
cave dwelling spider in my mouth.
I can't even imagine. Okay, let me ask you this: bat soup.
Bat soup.
That
there such a thing?
coronavirus that they're having to deal with right now in China.
Yeah.
They're saying they think the link is the delicacy of bat soup, and they have pictures of people.
why do
Literally,
they
there's
eat
a
stuff
bat
like
in
that?
the
No.
soup, and that people were
maybe
eating
that's the
the
problem.
bats,
Well, yeah, maybe we don't eat bats.
and that it might be
Yeah,
linked to
and
bat
then
soup.
bring it over here.
Okay.
right?
All right.
But
There you
China's
go.
like, I think they're like
he has-
canceling their New
he has-
Year.
They've canceled. This morning they came out that Beijing said we're going to cancel the New Year's celebration, so people won't travel
home.
and we'll stay home.
They
and,
all have
It's that
bat
bad?
breath.
yeah, well, they
Yes.
yeah,
breath.
They
Bat breath.
they
So
they
dumb.
actually shut down the city of Wuhan because there's like 11 million people because they don't want people. That's where it's been concentrated. Trying to keep people in there, not traveling, and try to
And don't allow people from certain countries to come in.
Yep.
And it's human to human, like airborne.
They don't even know how easily it's
Yeah, they just know it
transmitted.
can be human to human now, but they're
They don't know how
Wow, that's
easily because it's
scary.
been around for a long time. Something's different though now,
Oh, I don't know.
but that's the transmission as far as that goes. But
Yeah, don't put a
it's
bat
still-
in the soup. Like if you're
Sounds
going to
like a
cook
bad
it, put
idea.
the meat in there, but don't and let's garnish it with another one.
I mean,
Bat.
literally, it was with the wings. It was
Yeah.
still
Ooh.
on. Yeah,
I think
know.
bats are cute, kind of like their faces are kind of cute sometimes, but
It's like squirrels.
Not in the soup.
yeah,
though.
Don't pick 'em
not
up.
in a soup.
Not in a soup.
Koogler Vision is a proud supporter of our podcast, and we couldn't be more proud to be associated with such a great group of people.
Say, just put words in their mouth. Go
they
right
are
ahead.
they are proud.
Just go right ahead. Put words in their mouth. We love having them as a supporter
We do.
too, and we talk about them not only when we're telling you some of the great things they can do for you, but they come up in conversation quite often just because they're good people and we trust them. When it comes to doing anything with your eyes, you want the best. You want somebody who is at the forefront of the latest technology, which they are. When it comes to any kind of procedure that they do as far as corrective procedures, there's 7 different kinds that they do. I think most people, when they say LASIK, they think it's just one thing.
Right.
And I get it, and whatever it is, when you go in and do your consultation, you'll find out which potential procedures are best for you or your best options.
And maybe you went in and you were told 10 years ago, like, well, you're not a candidate. I was. I had astigmatism.
You were told that,
and I was
yeah.
told that, and so then I went. Technology changed, and this was even before they had 7 different procedures, and I was a candidate, and it was the best decision for my vision that I've ever made. And so you need to go back in, just kind of get a reboot and see if you
Yeah.
are a candidate.
And even take our word for it, that'd be great. You can also take a look at over 600 positive patient reviews on their website at KooglerVision.com. And their website is a great resource. Easy to navigate, a lot of information. You can learn a ton right there. And that's where you can also schedule your consultation.
You do, and when you do, just let them know that you heard it on the Pat and JT podcast.
Please do.
You schedule that consultation, get in. They'll get you a full workup, let you know what you're a candidate for.
Yeah.
And they'll take care of you.
What your problem areas are,
Yep.
what they can help you with, the whole 9 yards. It's really very informative, and if for no other reason than just to get a real good, clear picture
There you
so
go.
you can see what you could see in 2020.
That's
'Cause
enough of the puns.
It is 2020.
Oh my God. KooglerVision.com. Get that consultation. And again, let them know that you heard it on the Pat and JT podcast.
So I got a question for you too. Senator Sass.
Yeah.
They're going through the impeachment thing.
Yeah.
So somebody posted, I don't know how much I believe this blue check mark, but apparently they posted something that was per one of the Sass aides
Yeah.
that said at about 5 p.m., the sergeant at arms asked Senator Sass to put away a pouch of Red Man chewing tobacco that was on his desk. He asked whether or not the 4 remaining spittoons are decorative. We'll see.
Huh.
Does he chew?
I have no idea.
He doesn't seem like a chew
He
guy.
doesn't look like a chewer to me.
No.
Not at all. And so
Especially
everybody was
Big
going
Red.
crazy. It was
Or
on
what,
Twitter.
What's the skull? What was it?
Red Man.
Red Man.
Big Red is gum.
Oh, Big Red.
Get your red straight.
Oops, my bad.
And he would seem like more of a skull chewer, I would think, than a
Well, the pouches.
right or the
Little
pouches.
sneaky ones.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
the Red Man pouch. But somebody had posted it, so it was going around, and people are commenting, of course. Oh, disgusting! And oh, again, my senator is embarrassing me, and this, all this other
gosh.
stuff.
Yeah,
And I'm
I have
like,
no
okay,
idea.
I didn't know he chewed. I'm like, let's just start there because I don't know if that's even true. And it also could be he was just messing with people.
Yeah. I can see that too.
Yeah.
Could be too.
And there's a million other things that those guys do that can embarrass us before they.
You would
it's
think so.
Chewing,
You would think so.
I think it's funny they can only have milk and water
In the candy drawer.
in the candy drawer. The milk and water corrects
The
me
milk
'cause
thing was weird too. I thought, why is it
why
just
milk?
limited on that?
because if you have chocolate candy, you're going to want milk.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that's true. I never thought about that.
That goes together. Water does not go well with a Hershey's.
There you go. From an expert. That's expert testimony right there.
That's right. Let's go check your drawers.
Have you ever chewed?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You know when
That would be for both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, you've chewed too? I was going to ask you next.
I crack myself up sometimes.
Bad influence of those Texas boys. It's one of those things. Yeah, it's like I remember first time it's like you felt like you had to do it. I guess, and just curious. But when you first do it, no one really tells you the rules, and so you just kind of have it sit
Are
in
you
your
telling
mouth.
my story or
No,
your
this is my
story?
story,
Okay.
and you tell your own story, and it's just kind of sitting in your mouth. And you're like, hey, what do I do with this? Do you?
Yeah.
I guess you kind of spit. You try to spit a little bit, but you're still swallowing some of it.
It's so
And then
disgusting.
I just remember having to just so sit on lay on the couch for a while. I just felt my head was just spinning.
Yeah.
And then you get, you kind of start doing a little bit.
Well, and I
used to it.
couldn't understand why it was so popular. So
You would do like on the school bus?
I did it on the school bus
Yeah.
because the boys were,
Did you gut it?
Was
or
it
did you
like
spit?
this?
Oh
No.
my gosh,
She'd have
it
to
was
do.
skull, and
Skull in a
he
can.
told me what to do, but I was like, I
Little
don't
dip.
know how to spit,
Right?
know?
Yeah.
And so I held it in I held it, and so until I had to swallow.
Violently,
Then I
violently sick.
swallowed, and I got home, and threw up.
Oh,
Yeah.
A lot. I missed
Yeah.
the whole next day of school.
That's-
I was
My
really
dad
sick.
used to chew Red Man.
Oh, yeah.
That's disgusting.
When I was
But
a
I
little kid, I
remember-
remember trying one little strand of it.
What?
Yeah.
So what's
when
this
you
point
were
at me?
at Texas A&M, those guys, in
Those
your little
guys.
group,
Jerks.
Dirty Okie
yeah,
friends.
you started
Innocent John over here.
chewing or whatever.
Taking you down a bad
I was at
path.
Bible study, and they would say, "You must do this
I
stuff.
told you,
must
I'm
chew-
not
you
going to
must
date
chew
a
this
guy that does
tobacco."
that. Yeah,
I love it.
that was gross.
Yeah. No, I say, you do it a little bit.
I tried it one
nowadays.
time, got sick, and I wanted to because it looked cool. Hanging around baseball players always had a dip.
Sure,
in.
yeah, that's natural.
It looked
Yeah.
super cool, but
Here's
it's not.
and I don't know if it was up here, but when we were in high school, there was a smoking area
Isn't
at
that funny?
our high school where you could go out there and smoke
You
or
had
do
to
your
have a
dip.
note from your parents.
It was
Really?
it was right outside the cafeteria. There was a
cloud of smoke.
yeah. How
my
about that?
God.
This is in the
crazy.
80s.
There was a
There's
smoking-
area.
Wow,
and,
that's
and guys
interesting.
guys would chew or dip in class, and they always have that their can. Or they would just on the carpet and just
Then
kind of
they
rub
had-
it in.
They
Like,
would
that's
rub
gonna
it
go
on
away.
the carpet.
I remember
That's
those guys.
Rub it in.
Now, I know we
That's
had
nuts.
There was a smoking lounge in the school for the teachers.
Oh yeah, for the
Oh,
teachers.
yeah.
Yeah, this is for the
They
students.
had the drug area down the way from there a little bit. Remember that?
I mean, that's
The syringe repositories.
Is that kind of unofficial?
alleged. That's alleged.
Allegedly, unofficially. Yeah, that
That's
kind of thing.
weird.
Okay, interesting. Wow.
Our stuff back in the day.
Oh my God.
Man, I know.
Yeah, that's
We
unbelievable.
lived on the edge down there.
I was thinking that the other day
Pat.
somebody mentioned about smoking on planes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's just
Yeah.
inconceivable now
I know,
that they had the
thought.
smoking section in the
Remember
back.
Airplane? The
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
Airplane?
yeah, right,
Yeah, I love that.
Well, it's just like so one row away is
Yeah.
smoking and non-smoking. Like one row ahead of you, I'm not going to be affected by that smoking.
And just like in restaurants, the non-smoking section was right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird now to think that you'd come home from a bar and you'd smell like smoke.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I know,
Thank
isn't
God
it?
those days are done, right?
I know.
Yeah, totally.
yeah, you'd be in this just little tunnel of a plane, and let's just make that
Yeah.
filled with smoke. and
It's
that's
crazy
a
how
good
much
idea.
it's changed. When was that in the 80s when they changed
I think
that?
so.
I think it was in the
I think
80s
so.
or early 90s when they changed that. But it's crazy. It's taken on one side you can say it's taken this long, 30 years. On the other side, it's changed perceptually. It's changed so quickly.
Yeah.
The way people handle it. Because I think they said that teenage smoking is down to 9%.
Well, because they're
which
vaping.
is unbelievable. They're vaping. If only they'd vape the non-nicotine vape.
Your boss at Channel 7 trying to get a hold of you.
I think that's actually that is a KETV alert, but that's on Kristi's phone though.
My daughter gets the KETV alerts all the time. I hear them from her room super loud.
That is a KETV alert.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything do we need to know about?
That's the bat signal. John is needed back at the fortress.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
no, this
right.
is just as impeachment managers expected.
Oh,
to
okay.
detail.
That's right. We're getting ready to start another day. That's true.
I was gonna say something too about what we were just talking about before KETV
kids
rudely interrupted us.
Smoking vaping.
That if the kids that vape, there are products that are nicotine free.
I kind of feel anything going in the lung.
It's probably not a good idea.
Because they haven't been doing it long enough to know what the long-term effects
it
are.
would just seem maybe common sense though. If you're putting something into your lungs that's chemical,
I still
it's probably
think
not a good
that-
idea.
Yeah.
I still think that it shouldn't be banned for adults that are trying to quit smoking
Yeah,
cigarettes.
and I think that was an initial, I think, purpose, right? Of the
Right.
vaping was for them to kind of get
Right.
off the smoking of
Yeah,
the cigarettes.
because-
We have a son that is vaping, and I'm so.
Because he is so super cool.
So he calls. So
Jeez.
we used to. We remember we had like 2 or 3 people. There were 2 or 3 people where we used to work that vaped, and it used to drive me crazy because they would vape in the studio.
it's just
And it's like
rude.
it's like it's just
I don't.
Yeah. It's
It
just
disappears.
It's just
vapor. It's
Goes
no big
away.
deal.
Yeah.
It's not
These
smoke.
big clouds.
Oh.
Yeah. You can't. You
Yeah.
look in the one studio and it's like I can't see
We had
it.
the same
I
conversation.
FaceTimed him the other day, and he answered, and then he was
vaping.
talking, and he vaped, and I'm like hung up, and so he goes, "Why'd you hang up on me?" And I said, "I don't want to sit there and watch you do that. I've told you."
We're
I don't
on
wanna do that.
vacation. We were on vacation one time, and he was doing it. And I'm like, first of all, just go outside onto the patio area of
I
this.
mean, I
where we're
cried
staying
the
and
first
do
time
it,
I
you
saw him
know?
do it.
Right.
I just I don't like that.
No, it is. It hasn't been
It's
around
bad
long
parenting.
enough.
That's why he's
That's
bad
what it is.
parenting. Way to go,
You guys are
Kristi.
terrible parents.
But it hasn't been around long enough. You're right.
Obvious
It's for
fail.
people to know what the long-term effects will be, or if any effects will be. But I get it.
There was a lady at the gas station about 2 weeks ago, I think. I was behind her and she was buying 2 cartons of cigarettes, $150.
Can you imagine?
147 something.
Wow. So like $70.
It might have even been more than that. It might have been 170. I don't remember, but it was like 50
Wow.
some. Or maybe it's 3. I don't remember. No, it was 2, but it was $150.
Oh my gosh.
I have an employee that loves Mountain Dew and Reds. She likes
You get your BMs
That
going
that
on that
reminds
one.
me
You
of
have one of those in the
somebody
morning.
else we used
Lighting
to-
a wick.
Somebody else we used to work with, producer in the next studio.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty much Mountain Dew is his thing.
Yeah.
The Mountain Dew. Oh my gosh. I remember when I was a little kid, growing up, we had the Backstroms lived across the street from my mom and dad's office. It was on the south side of town. It was a little gravel road. And I used to go over, they were an elderly couple. And Mr. Backstrom, Frank, he would always be sitting in his house and he was always smoking, I don't know what it was, no filter cigarettes. And he had pallets type stacks of bottles of Mountain Dew. That was his drink.
Is he still alive?
And oh hell no! But he lived to be like 90.
Oh really?
He was like 90. But I remember because you walk in the house and the whole house was tinted brown, basically,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he'd always had smoked inside.
Yeah.
But both of them were old. I mean, definitely when I was a little kid. But he would be in there watching TV, and he'd have his cigarette and his Mountain Dew. And so I'd go and have a Mountain Dew with him. I'd go across and sit and have a Mountain Dew with him. Remember the bottles of bottles of pop.
Yeah, bottles.
Yeah, with the little hillbilly on the front.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
right.
God.
The little, yes. Oh,
You guys
yeah, we're really.
remember the suckers used to, well, you can still get them, but they had it was the wrapper and had, you had to look for the Indian shooting the arrow. And supposedly if you got an Indian with an arrow,
Was that on the-
you get a free, it was, they're not, I mean, lollipops.
I don't remember those.
What are they called?
Oh,
the
there's a name of the
Dum
gums.
It wasn't Dum Dums, it was Tootsie Pops? Tootsie Pops.
No.
Yeah, it
Was
was
it
Tootsie Pops.
Tootsie
Yeah,
Pops?
Tootsie Pops has the Tootsie in the
No.
middle.
Yeah, it was, I don't remember. I'll look it up. I'll Google it while we're talking. But
Was
yeah,
it
you look on the
a
wrappers,
sucker or was it gum?
It was a sucker. Because then you're supposedly, if you got a whole bunch of them, you send it in. It was a total myth. You never did. You never got a free one. It was a total lie.
Was that like something that was on the back of a comic book or something?
Yeah, probably.
I fell for that scam when I was like 9 years old. You know, you order all the stuff. You know, I send them cash. Obviously, because I don't have a checking account. I send them cash. Never saw anything.
so weird.
What a scam!
Envelopes filled with quarters.
Where's my
From this
decoder
Oakey
ring and
kid.
my seahorses and my decoder
Yeah.
ring?
Oh, the seahorses.
Yeah, it was a Tootsie Pop.
It was Tootsie Pop?
Okay, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
Tootsie Pop.
I remember
it was Kicks. I
Arrow.
remember the cereals used to sell, like you get cereal and on the back they'd have a product that you could buy. And one of them was it was Trix. It was a mini home garden. Like you'd order it and you get like this
he
little
was
garden. It was
excited
just-
about that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
supply your own dirt. They give you everything else. I remember that. I remember like at this little farm.
That's like a thing now. Have you seen the new ones that they have that they're selling that are like high end? They're like they're little mini gardens.
Yes.
And they come with the
The
hydroponic lights.
and there's like little sections.
And there's little pods, and
Kinda
you can get
fancy.
a 6
Really?
pod or an 8
I had
pod.
fun.
It's great
One of
for
those
your
will be
New
showing
Yorker,
up
right?
the spring in
Yeah.
my house.
Done. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
my
bet.
God.
I'm
Yeah, you
throwing
guys
that's
eating
going to
all
be from
healthy.
Amazon.
Grow your own.
All of a sudden,
It's easier just to go buy it.
right? I know.
80
But
cents
it's
for a
right
pepper.
there.
No, but
on
the one
the
thing,
counter.
the one
It
thing we
doesn't
do
matter.
is we do basil. We'll put so out in the front
Okay.
yard. I got this basil thing that just starts going crazy.
Yeah.
So
We
I said we
use
might want
it.
to start making some more stuff with basil
Make it-
because
make
this thing's kind of taking on its own life
You like
out here.
like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Basil
Oh my
shrimp,
God.
basil spaghetti, basil cereal.
We are going to plant this summer.
God, these
Are
oakies
we?
smell like basil.
All right. It's just
We
oozing from
love
our
it.
pores.
Got basil lotion.
Garlic. We're
We got
really
basil
bad
bath
with garlic in
soap.
our
We
house
got
too.
basil
but gar-
hand
garlic-
cream. We got basil.
You're right.
Sorry.
John loves garlic.
Oh.
So it's a good thing that we
I
like
do
the same
too.
things.
Garlic's the best. Let's went to the Solo Mio one time.
Oh, don't tell this.
Oh, hey, you brought garlic up. And so, they give you the garlic, the roasted garlic, and with the bread and stuff at the
Yeah.
very beginning. And so, Kristi loves garlic. So, she was just loading up on this thing. Man, she just reeked of garlic.
Oh, I know. No, I know.
Like, it
I
was
put
coming
it
out
in
of
my
her pores.
food. And
Like from
everything. I
your
did it on the
pores.
Yeah, it was
bread,
like
and
coming
then
out
I
of
put it
her
in my
pores,
food.
I think, for days.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
had friends saying, "You smell like garlic."
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Really?
seeping
Yes.
out. Yes.
I mean, it was a large amount of garlic.
And then you
That's
poop,
good.
you
So
poop really
good. It
bad
was so
after
good.
that.
Do
Too.
you?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
And it smells like garlic too.
Yeah.
So it's very nice. in the
Well,
bathroom.
that's kind of like 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Really, I mean that's not necessarily a con.
Yeah.
As opposed, there are other things that could smell like.
Yeah,
obviously,
true.
Well, yeah.
Good point.
right?
That's a
Yeah,
good
John
point.
loves the smell of garlic.
Yeah.
Well, not
Not that kind.
Not in the bathroom.
Sorry, like it in the kitchen, please.
Garlic is delicious. Just the breath
Yeah.
situation
Love
afterwards.
garlic. Oh,
I do.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
makes everything better.
You just can't put enough of it on some things.
No.
I'm there with you. I got you. Oh my God.
So you guys, your podcast, the Oak Zone, we're getting that thing rolling
Have you
very
heard about
soon.
this?
I saw something about it online.
Yeah, look at this. We're looking for this company where we've been shipping it around.
Yeah.
See who's interested in picking it up.
Shopping
and,
it,
shopping
don't
it.
blame you.
Shopping around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shopping
So we
around.
found these
Your
two
pilot
people.
project.
Used to be these hack radio
Idiots.
DJs in town.
Suckos.
And no, you guys, you guys kind of got us going and got us thinking about it, and we're excited to be a part of the
Well,
the
people
Parkville Media
always talk.
family.
People tell us all the time, just push play or just video them.
That we should be like our own reality show.
Because we like at our house, they're like, we've never seen people argue like you guys. Because it's not that we argue a lot. It's just there's a lot of debating going on. It could be entertaining.
Yeah.
Debating.
People just
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Are you guys like
They-
Italian or
Debating.
something?
No.
You just,
No.
you
I
just
feel
act
like I'm
it.
Italian though.
You,
right?
yeah.
Right?
You could pull off an Italian.
Yeah,
I could.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could.
I think so.
I'm like 90-something% UK.
Really?
Seriously.
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
you do like
yeah, we did it.
the
yeah.
DNA thing?
And I knew I would be, but I thought still
I
to be
was-
a smidge of somewhere else.
Weren't
Like,
you
no, pretty
disappointed
much.
just a touch? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
thought there might be something else in
I
there
get
somewhere.
mom and dad
but
both
no.
did it, and so I'm looking at their results, and I'm like, oh my God, how white
You're
bread are we?
Yeah.
You're Scandinavian.
There is some Scandinavian. in
Yeah,
there.
I can tell.
Really?
I can tell in you. Yeah.
That's what her dad is. Scandinavian.
Oh,
You got-
that's interesting.
What,
Yeah, on my-
Danish?
on my-
Danish.
mom's side.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I would see more
That's
like,
crazy.
is there
That is crazy.
Swiss or Sweden or anything like that in you?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Not that I know of. Yeah.
There's some Scandinavian though.
I'll have to pull up mom's results again and take
But
another.
I was
You're
surprised
Rain Man
by
over here,
mine. too.
genealogy.
Right.
All of a sudden, I look
I
at
do
you and I
love
see
it.
that you must be Turkish. You look Turkish
I
to me.
feel it. Let me touch
Like
you.
Tyler Henry. I'm getting someone that wants to. Is this your mother? Did your mother have brown hair? You're like a
Was your
psychic.
mother a woman? She was. Okay.
I knew
I
it.
see her. Yes.
I knew it. There we go.
Brilliant.
I'm feeling that. I love Tyler Henry. He
Yeah.
cracks me up. Sometimes it
funny.
gets a little too much. It's like, okay, someday the kid's got to finally eventually get some confidence where he isn't so starstruck every time he walks into a room, or you know what I
Right,
mean? Or when
right.
somebody compliments him, he blushes and all this. He never just says thank you.
Yeah.
You know, it's always
It's like the
It's
Meryl
always the-
Streep effect. It's
It
like
is.
with Meryl Streep is just like shut up and just take a compliment. You don't have to say you don't have to say no. You don't have to say oh my gosh no. Just say thanks. You're freaking Meryl Streep. You're amazing.
He's had this complaint about her. I swear,
she's annoying to
15
me.
years.
Meryl Streep.
She's a good
annoying
actress.
too?
She's just
Yeah.
annoying. I don't. Yeah.
Because she always says, "Oh no, it's not. I'm not that good. I'm not that." And it's like you've won every award
Yeah, right.
that's been handed
Yeah.
to
I
you.
just
You
am like,
are
you know
that
what,
good.
If you're
yeah,
up for it, you're going to win it. Come
Right.
on.
Yes.
Right. So like just take it. Take it. So I hate that.
I agree. You should
you.
just say thank you.
Just say thanks.
And more annoying than that are the ones that step out of the category because it's time for someone else to win.
Right, Oprah.
Yes, that drove me crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you serious?"
Did you see Brad Pitt and what's the
Jennifer
thing?
Aniston?
Yeah, what's going on there?
I know we kind of touched on this a few days ago, and I honestly, he says, "Oh, surely," because they still own a company together, that they still
I
work
didn't
with each
know
other.
that.
But I think the reason they did that is because they were going to make so much money. It made sense to leave it alone.
Yeah.
I don't think they've seen each other in a long time. I really don't.
Yeah.
Well, I read
know?
that they do. That they have because he went to her birthday party.
He did just recently. There's been more and more sightings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then watching him watch her.
And she was watching him.
That would make my heart happy.
Oh well, he totally screwed up. He totally screwed up. We know that.
Yeah.
Men screw up all the time.
Right. they do.
Had everything. Then the Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie came along.
Yeah.
Blew it up.
Taboo.
Angelina,
Yeah.
that hussy.
Hussy. Angelina, that hussy.
Yeah.
On that note,
You guys are awesome for coming in here with us. We
Thanks.
appreciate
We're
it.
excited. We're excited to work with you and get our hopefully next in February maybe launch this the Oak Zone.
Oh, it'll be
So-
February for sure.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
getting-
we're going to tell about the LaToya story, aren't we? Jatoya.
What's
Don't
that?
use names.
what?
Jatoya.
Oh, Chrissy.
Oh, I'm getting him a shirt. It's going to say Jatoya.
First of all, I'm not involved in this. I don't even know why I'm involved. This is your story of how you go after people.
We probably have gone too long. Do you want to hear this story?
We'll save that for another time.
Jatoya?
No, I don't.
You are Jatoya.
Why am I?
Okay. Here I have an
Oh
idea.
my
So
gosh.
we'll if you guys can stick around for a little bit, we'll like cut this into two. We'll make two episodes.
right.
We'll do
Whatever you wanna do.
Jatoya will be tomorrow's episode.
Whatever you want to do.
Deal?
Oh my
This,
God.
this is your gig.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever you
Okay.
want to do.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna do
All
that.
right.
So let's
What a great tease, boy!
Yeah.
You're going to be so thankful that you stuck around for part 2.
for Jatoya. Jatoya. All right, so we'll officially say goodbye. And then
Here we go.
All right, so 402-403-9478. Yeah, that's our number. I thought I got it wrong. Text us. You can leave us a voicemail.
Is that your cell phone?
Oops. Sorry, Mom. Yeah.
Pat and JT Podcast. A Parkville Media Production.